Greetings and welcome to the All You Can Geek Gamecast, last of 2022. With me tonight, we have Tony Korkanakis
Happy New Year.
and Mike Snitty,
What's up?
your host, me, Corey Feinsod. No Jim tonight.
Yeah, Slacker's
He's
taking
skipping.
off. We don't get
Exactly.
PTO around here.
But he's like, this is the last one of the year. Screw it, guys. I'm out. But we're here for you. We're going to give you an episode, even though, like I said, last of 2022. This is it. We're going to be throwing 2022 out, charging into 2023. Going to have some pretty, all of our best of stuff comes up in the next year. We always give you guys it a little later than everyone else just because, we got to be able to play up until the end of the year, right? So you never know.
Yep.
Yep.
We don't get review copies from anyone, so
Exactly.
problem.
So we'll be doing that. But like, if you're here, hit that subscribe, hit that like button. We appreciate it. Definitely join the conversation on Twitch. We're live every Tuesday night. Usually starting at 8 for the movie cast, sometimes a little later, and then game cast around a half hour-ish after that. So come join us and join the conversation.
Yeah.
But let's get to it, guys. What have you been playing, Mike?
Well, I'll start with what I played pre-Christmas, which is more of Elden Ring. I did.
Beat the fire giant?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
First, I decided I needed rune arcs or not. I have the arcs, but the whatever benediction you need to do at the towers. And of course, the first tower I found is the Liriano one, which is useless.
Mhm.
Spent a lot of time. At least I leveled up. I got a level out of it by just everything I had to kill in there, but I don't even know why it exists, but whatever. So I was a little annoyed by that. But then I finally found the way to walk through the courtyard to get to the one off Stormhill. So I did. I got the basic +5 everything one, and I looked up all of them. I feel like that's as good as any of them, which is strange to me because I'm assuming a lot of the later game area ones are harder to beat than that one, but seems as good as any of them. So I think that got me over the edge, and I was able to defeat the fire giant. So
Probably helps that you're getting used to the controls as well.
but yeah, I'm not like in God of War mode anymore as well. um,
Mhm.
so then I went into that the place where you get teleported that other time, but. And
Mhm.
so it's quite a gauntlet there.
It's Elden Ring.
I know, and that's why. So I beat the rooftop like red lightning dragon.
Yeah, that was a good fight.
Um, then I did beat after a few tries the Godskin duo.
Mm.
Although it was a 3-on-2 fight because I summoned the guy and my mimic, and there was a lot going on in that one.
Yeah.
And now and then I stopped because once you like beat a few bosses, I don't know if this is how it was for you guys. You just kind of need a break before you run into the next wall. And the
Mhm.
next wall is a throwback to one of the worst walls for me earlier in the game, which is the like draconic tree sentinel thing that stops you from going forward. I think pretty close to the end of that area. I feel like I'm not even sure. I'm like, oh, one of these again. So I just stopped there, and you could go downstairs and get invaded by something that has way too much health as well.
Mm.
If you guys recall any of that or know what I'm talking about.
I did
Yeah.
not play, so do
So
not.
I don't know how close I am to like the true end game stuff at that point, but
You're pretty close.
I
I would say just a couple more. I mean, a couple more bosses. I'll put it that way. There's a couple more.
Mm.
so it's a little annoying. There is part of me that wants to continue it right now. It feels like unfinished
I mean,
business,
you
but
should. Like, you do not want to be getting used to a different control scheme
You need
for
that
some.
title of Elden Lord so you can stand
Yeah,
neck and neck with Jim.
exactly. Right now,
yeah,
he's got you.
Don't let him hold it
uh,
over you, Mike.
I'm not too worried about that.
Hmm.
But
But I'm assuming you got some Christmas gifts. Did you get some
yes,
games for Christmas?
I did get Sonic
Sonic.
Frontiers.
Wow, figured. Yep, nice.
And so I have
Popped it
been
in.
playing that a little bit, and it's funny because this game, it's not the most engaging thing in the world, but you sink time into it without realizing it. It's very kind of like a chill game. Like you're just wandering around, picking up the way too many currencies to level up in different
Mm.
ways. And you do get faster. That's one way to level, and you get sort of like, I want to get faster. I want to get faster. That keeps happening. But
Mm.
the story isn't as interesting as I hoped at the beginning. I mean, it's supposed to be mysterious. There's not a lot that's talked about early on, but it's okay so far. But yeah, you just sink time into it. I'm like, oh, I'll just keep going until I find something else of interest, or I'll just run over there. And I was like, oh, I've spent like 2 hours playing this, and I like didn't even realize it. So I don't know if
Mm.
that's good or bad. It's a little bit of both. I know that they did an update since it released to fix some of the pop-in. It's still there, but it's not like as bad as I've heard it was at first, where you literally can't see things you're touching. They
Mm.
said that hasn't happened. It's just in the distance you see things pop for me every now and then. Game
This on
doesn't look great
PlayStation
either.
5.
Yes, this is a PlayStation 5. It has, yeah, I mean, this was, not optimized well for anybody, I think, and
Mm.
or built from
It's
like the
on
Switch up.
Switch, right?
Yeah, yeah. So, it's not like, I mean, it has its moments occasionally, but I'm in the second biome already. I'm starting to get the rhythm of the game. It's not going to be my game of the year, I don't think, unless something drastic happens. But I don't hate it.
I mean, I can't
I
see it beating God of War or even Horizon, I don't think.
Yeah, but I see why. I feel like this might be like one of the
Got
better.
potential, but maybe it's like for
No,
like
no,
the stepping stone
yeah,
for the next game.
yeah, and it's just I do think it's the most interesting, I think, 3D Sonic has been since Sonic Adventure, just by the structure of it. It's kind of similar in some ways, although I found Sonic Adventure's worlds a little more lively than what we've got
I
here.
mean, what
I
we've
kind
seen
of
of this one's looked dead from every preview.
I
So
say I
Yeah,
just don't know what they're
it's
going with the
supposed
design of this
to.
one.
yeah.
What's that?
I just don't understand what the design philosophy of this one. Like, just leading up to it, it just looks so empty and
Hmm.
like
Well,
devoid of anything. It's just like,
it's
oh, okay.
supposed to be in a way. You're in like the area is supposed to be like, almost, it's secretly like almost Last of Us. Like there was an ancient civilization there that got wiped out, and now everything is grown
Are
over
you
and
on
just
Earth? I mean,
natural.
where are you?
I
Are
don't
you
know. Is
in
Sonic ever
Venezuela?
on Earth?
Yeah, in the
In the
movie.
movies, Jinx.
No, but
Some
you're
planet.
sort of, you get like, I don't know. There's like a cyber world like fucking
Oh,
like collision
interesting.
thing going on there.
Yeah.
I don't know. The story will continue as I, unlock it as you go. It's okay. I don't see this is it's so light. Although every now and then there is a random difficulty spike with a boss that you have no idea how to defeat. But there's definitely a lot of bosses too. Some are fun, some are stupid. The
Well,
puzzles are the most brain dead thing I've ever seen so far. Like
More,
it
more so than
makes
God of War.
way more. It makes God
Nice.
of War seem like very difficult. There's
Mm.
this is literally like walk in a line without like one of them is literally walk on a line or run on this hamster wheel. That's all you do. And run is just a direction in this
Mm.
game and go. So
yeah.
some of them, I'm assuming they'll ramp up a little bit as I get further in, but
Mm.
they're so stupid early on. I'm like, why are they even here?
What
Uh,
how many hours did you say you put in this already?
I already put in 4 hours without even realizing
Okay.
it. It
Interesting.
yeah, it just happens because you're just it's the music gets a little annoying. It's that sort of it is what you remember.
Elevator.
Aside, yeah, it's just sort of very chill, and you're just sort of going around. Like, I imagine if I was a pothead, I would like this game more.
Hmm.
It's a very
Okay.
chill game,
Did you
but
get anything else for all this?
just some gift cards so it can turn into something else eventually. But we'll cross
Okay.
that bridge when we get to it. I did get some stuff like and I got a refurbished PS2 because
Oh, okay.
my whole retro corner over there is being built up, and my old PS2 Slim just does not work. So I asked for a refurbished one, and it works. And I also got an adapter to make it look okay on HDMI. So yeah, that might happen as well. So something old will become new for me for there. So yeah, and we'll see what I want to do afterwards. I'm going to wait for being done with a few things, and then see what's on my radar. Depending on what Jim says, I might
Midnight
if
Suns.
I might dip into that. If it has a discount in like the next couple months.
Definitely will. It's actually been on a couple of the Game of the Year awards for a couple different of the more popular publications. Yeah, I think Game Informer put it in the top 10 or something like that. For the year.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, I'm definitely interested. It was just one of those things that like the timing was bad. Like if this came out in the summer or something like that, day one or whatever, just too much stuff came out at the end of the year.
Yeah. Have you been playing anything then, Tony? Have you been?
Just some more Tactics Ogre. Nothing really new there. Just more tactical strategy, fun stuff like that. 2 updates.
Did you get into the story with it? Like the story was, from what I remember, very strong. So.
Yeah. Story's really good. I could see things building up and already like, oh yeah, they're planning on this, and it's not going to go according to what they plan on. So I'm just waiting for that, pin to drop. But some updates. Phasmophobia is having their holiday update, which is like Christmas themed.
I should play that with you guys sometime.
You really should, man. I keep telling you.
Yeah. Like, let me know, like, one of these days this week or next week.
So in this one, they have a cool like achievement trophy system where like if you like every holiday so far, like Halloween and Christmas, they have a fun little bonus objective you have to do, and if you do them, you get a little trophy for your home base to show off like you did the objectives. So for Christmas, what you have to do is in 7 of the maps, there are Christmas cookies just scattered about, and you have to find the cookies to put them on a plate, and you have to put the plate in the ghost room, and the ghost can interact with various objects in the game, but if it interacts with the cookie dish, it will eat the cookies, and the ghost will then become Santa Claus ghost and try to kill you because you fed him cookies. So I was doing that with that couple. It was really funny because like instead of like the typical like there's different like noise sound effects for the different ghosts, but like this one now it's like the jingle, like the
jingle bells.
Yeah, jingle bell, like stuff like that. So I played that and was playing with some of my online friends, and we were in this house and I heard the door open / shut. And usually it's just like kind of an indicator of where the ghost is to help you like locate and stuff like that. So I was in the garage. I can't peek out. I was like, oh, what door is it? But then I see the front door is closed, and that's bad in this game. Like that means the ghost is hunting. It can kill you now. So I go up to the door. I was like, oh no, this is locked. And then all of a sudden, like I hear it approaching me. So I ran up the stairs real quick, and I'm just throwing my equipment because if anything is on electrical, it can like find you based on that. So I just throw all my electrical equipment down, and I just run like up the stairs around the corner. And 2 of my friends were upstairs already, and they were like trying to, I don't know, turn on a light switch or something like that. Unfortunately, I didn't give them the heads up that it was hunting. I figured they knew, but they just kind of stood there, and because they were talking in proximity chat, the ghost heard them, so it just went and killed one of them right away. And I mean, I just kept.
You don't have to be the fastest one. You just have to be the one faster than someone else.
Exactly. So that's been fun. Looking forward to finishing up the other maps that I haven't yet to do. But the other thing I have been playing, and I feel so bad for saying this, but I'm like addicted to this Call of Duty Warzone 2 DMZ mode. Like I am so addicted to it, and I hate it. I hate myself for it because I just I haven't been into Call of Duty since Modern Warfare 2 original, not the remake.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually saw you talking on Discord. I'm like, Call of Duty, Tony? What?
Yeah, no, like that's what I said. Because like the thing is, like Nick and Bill, like they like to play different shooters, and I'll just download a shooter if it's free, especially if it's free to play. I'll just play shooter, whatever, like Apex and Fortnite and over whatever. So I was like, okay, I'll do this. And then Nick was like, oh, dude, there's this new mode called DMZ. I was listening to it, hearing him talk about it, but it's player versus AI, And basically, it's a short 20-minute game where you just have to go in, complete some objectives, get money, so you could purchase like weapons or upgrades or something like that, and then you have to exfiltrate via a helicopter and stuff like that. And if you die, you don't get to keep anything. So it's just like, it feels so fucking bad because the AI gets progressively more bullshit as like the game progresses. 'Cause, like at first you're just like facing like regular dudes. They don't have any armor or any special weapons or anything like that. But by the end of the game, you're like, fuck this. So I'm playing a lot of it, and I did some bad things the other day because I was in a bad mood. Like there was this group I was with, because there was groups of 3. I'm queuing up solo. I got paired with these 2 dudes, and the one guy was so fucking stoned out of his mind. You can just tell by the way he's talking. And he's like trying to like boast. He's like, yeah, I made $500K in 1 year by like selling or renting out space for glass blowers and taking that glass to Vegas and selling it at Vegas. And I made $500K, and then I took 6 months and just traveled around the country with my cousin. I was like, dude, if you made and blew $500K in a year, you're stupid. Like, that's just, I don't even know what to say to that. But anyway, so we're doing this mission, and like he's just talking, and he's not focused on the mission. He's like, yo, buddy, why aren't you talking? I'm like, dude, I'm just trying to fucking do these objectives. Like, I'm not here for story time. I'm not here to be your pal. Like, we're on a team. Doesn't mean I need to be your friend. So anyway, at the very end, like, we're like trying to get out of there, and there's this team that's at the chopper. Because, like, when you're on the map and you see, like, the locations where you can exfiltrate, there's green smoke. And if you don't see green smoke, that means somebody has already, like, shot off a flare and the chopper is coming. So we're watching, and these dudes are carrying the weapon cache, which is, like, just an unlockable cosmetic item or something like that. But, like, it's free. So it's like, you're like, oh, I want that, you know?
Yeah.
So we're talking, we're like, okay, well, we can jump them at the last minute and just get away and stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, all right, cool. Like, I'll lead the charge. Like, I have the most equipment, this and the other thing. So I go in, and I take out one of them, and then I just get blasted by the other 2. And I look on my map, and the other 2 guys aren't even near me. The one dude just went straight to the helicopter. I'm like, bro, what are you talking? It was your idea to jump them at the last minute. Why are you in the helicopter? And he's like, oh, sorry. And then he's like coming back to like fight him off and stuff like that. And I'm just so pissed off. I'm like, I gotta wait for this motherfucker to like defeat 2 people now and like res me and stuff like that. There is a thing in this mode where you can do a plea for help if you're downed like this. And you could be like, hey, enemy teams, help me out, bro. So the guys that killed me were like, oh, you know what? We'll res you. And he reses me. And I'm on their team now. So that stoner guy that I was pissed at this entire 20-minute match, he's like, bro, that's not cool. I can't believe you did that. And he just starts like complaining. And I just go up there and I just go, pop, 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 pop. And I kill him. And I get away. With a team that had the unlockable weapon cache. So I was naughty. Definitely be on the naughty list next year.
Got that coal on some.
Oh yeah.
That sounds right.
And literally, again, right before this podcast, I finished a game. And this dude, this guy wasn't talking at all this entire match. And it's like almost the exact opposite, where it's like, dude, you need to communicate some things. Not everything, but some things. So we had our one player disconnect halfway through the map. Or the match. And then the thing is, like, now it's the zone is getting bigger. We're like, dude, we got to exfil. So he hops in the vehicle, and he's like, okay. I was like, I mark on the map where we need to go. And he's taking us back to where we came from, where we started. I'm like, dude, why are we going back here? Like, you're just wasting time. And he's a terrible driver. Anyway, long story short, we drive across the map, across the entire map, like, and the vehicle runs out of gas. You can do that in this game. And then right off the cliff, there's a helicopter. So I get in the helicopter. I'm piloting the helicopter, and it's the last exfil. And it's always risky to wait for the last one because every team remaining is going for that one, obviously. So I'm like, well, shit. And they're like, guys, like the AI is like, we're only going to be here for a minute, so you better get here. And I was like, okay. So I'm flying the chopper over to the big chopper and stuff like that. And it's ticking down. And I'm like, I'm just getting us close. And I'm like, I'm ejecting. I didn't tell him I was ejecting, but I ejected. He did not. He stayed on the helicopter, and it crashed, and he got downed. And there's 10 seconds left, and I just was like, sorry, bro. And I just got on the big chopper and got out of there. So yeah, I'm a bad person to random.
Well, it sounded like that reminds me of the last, angry messages I sent to someone. In Halo Infinite, when the guy was, I told the story before that he got turned around, I guess, in a capture the flag and kept delivering the flag to the other team's base, basically, but the wrong way.
Yeah.
Because he was backwards. So I'm like, I thought he was doing it on purpose at first, so that's why I sent the first message, because I was just pissed off. And he's like, what do you mean? I was playing. I'm like, no, you would. I'm like, whatever, keep delivering the enemy flag to the other team's base. Cool.
Oh, Mike.
So that reminds me of that. It sounds like he was turned around similarly when he went back to the beginning.
Potentially, but it sounds like a lot of fun. I like that throwing in the AI and the environment with the other players.
It really
So
is
neat.
too. And like the other extra layer on top is they give you these missions that you want to complete, because like otherwise it's just like, okay, getting money to buy weapons that aren't permanent, and then you can also unlock things for weapons that are permanent. Like that's fun, but like the missions are like they give you something to accomplish, like something to do. So like one of them is like get to the top of this tower and exfiltrate the golden gun there, like nod to GoldenEye, stuff like that. So that took me a couple tries and stuff like that, but it's just really fun because you're just like, shit, and they get hard. They get so freaking hard. There's one.
And this is free to play on Blizzard.
on all
Blizzard stuff.
Yep, plus Xbox and PlayStation 2. So
Oh, gotcha. Cool.
definitely recommend it.
Nice. Well, I started Xenoblade 3 on the Switch.
Yeah.
I started it. So I was like, I had all this free time. So I started it. I'm playing it. Gonna focus, try to get a little bit every day. But I have started. So
wait.
very early still. But
Just got the same congratulations from me I do to my 1-year-old son all the time. Yay.
so yeah.
So wait, with Xenoblade 1, did you like finish a Let's Play?
Nope. I was just like, I'm not gonna bother. Like,
No.
I don't. I
guess
I didn't bother playing it.
No, but like,
I'll
even
probably watch like a
cutscenes
recap or something.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I was like, I want to get this started because I can't not play it this year. So
Yeah, that's fair.
but yeah, still like I said, still pretty early. Only I've only gone like on a couple of missions. It's,
Yeah, the
like,
early part.
So very late January for our game of the year, guys.
No, I mean, pretty sure what my game of the year is gonna be. I think you guys know anyway.
Yeah.
But anyway, we'll see how that goes. Did you get anything on the Steam Winter Sale, Tony?
I'm waiting a couple days just because Epic is giving away a game a day.
Every day, yeah.
And the game today I was actually going to buy, but then they gave it away,
nice.
so I was like, well, shit, I just saved money.
There you go. Cool.
There you go. Don't even need to pay a subscription fee
I did
either.
buy Cult of the Lamb because I kept eyeing that. When it
nice.
came
People
out.
keep talking about that shit. And,
It's fun. It's cute. All right. Yeah, let's move into some news. Don't have
Not
too
much. Not much.
Yeah,
Nobody's
it's
talking about anything.
yeah, no, it's one of those things. But real quick, we mentioned in the Game Awards how it felt like what's his name?
Christopher
Kratos.
Judge.
Yeah, it took like half an hour to do a speech. Well, apparently the longest speech in the Oscars history was 5 minutes and 30 seconds. And Christopher Judge's speech was timed at basically 8 minutes. So it was like
It's funny too because it's not like this guy is just a video game actor. He was like a regular in a somewhat popular TV series. Like he's in Stargate, I think, and
yeah.
so
No, he's been on television. He's an actor like anyone else. And
I would have had more respect for him, like if he had like actually talked about like just giving all the controversy that got brought to light by Helena Taylor with the voice acting and pay for voice actors, and how some actors even like him do motion capture, which is a lot to do for a role and stuff like that. If he would have like pitched like, oh, respect and pay your voice actors more or something like that. Like I'd be like, dude, go off, King. Tell all these developers, tell all these companies off. But it's just like he just starts a whole new topic every other minute. I'm like, dude, this is so unfocused. Like you're not talking about anything particular now. You're just fucking grandstanding. Get off.
I don't remember. I scrubbed through some of it.
I didn't even watch
I
it.
just
So.
expected him to cry because he cried on a lot of the developer behind the
Yeah, and
scenes stuff I saw.
that's fine. You know, like if you're that
He's
emotional,
way into it.
great.
I mean, and that's why it was so long. But whatever, it happens. I
They
just find
learned
it
they're not
kind
gonna
of
let this happen
funny.
again.
It's like a little embarrassing for him, I think, in retrospect. I'm sure, but
No, people are
I
still
don't like
calling
hate
him
him for
out.
it. But it's funny. It's funny to me.
Nah, I don't hate him for it. I will give him shit for it.
So we did get some interesting Turtles, Shredder's
Yeah,
Revenge, and Cowabunga Collection updates.
which is funny because these are not the same companies at all,
No.
and it's interesting that they both got these updates at the same time.
And they're very similar updates.
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, what did we
Girl.
get, Mike? What happened there? Did you check it out at
So
all?
I looked at the Cowabunga collection one because I've had played that more recently. And we got well, the Super Nintendo version of Turtles in Time. That's only 2 player. That was not one of the games that was online. Now it is
Which is
also online.
great because that's
So
probably like the best game on the collection, in my
yeah,
opinion.
I mean, if you're down for just 2 players for online, yeah.
Yeah.
Although the 4 player like arcade games, those are the other ones that were online. They're a
Or
little rough.
ass.
They
Yeah.
were a little rough playing online. There's a lot of lag, but maybe it's better now. And then other than that, they fleshed out the like strategy guides in there. There was almost nothing for like the Genesis Tournament Fighters version, and now it's all move lists for everybody. And then they have more filters for
The
different
blurs. Yeah.
versions of like malfunctioning old school TVs. I don't know why
Yeah,
you really want to do
retro.
them. Yeah, retro.
Oh,
It's just like, oh
my
look, this
CTR is not
shit is
working, so I'm
going
gonna get the
wrong.
lines. Yep.
I mean, I guess the like some people. I don't know who. I haven't heard anyone because I've been playing like this. I think what other game had stuff like this recently? Oh, Sonic. The Sonic Origins had this shit too, and it's just like no one really wants the
Well,
CRT
nobody
like
that went through it
thing.
wants it. All these like newer
No, I don't
players
know if
kind
that's what
of think
that
it's
is though.
funny.
I I don't know, but they did a bunch of versions of that. I don't know what else is in the Cowbunga collection. I know that for Shredder's Revenge, it also has a bunch of you know, Shredder's
Filters.
Revenge has things a little more substantial. Obviously, that game came out a bit earlier in the year. It has more filters as well.
Yeah.
Even though, of course, this
Shredder's Revenge is more gameplay oriented, whereas
yes, pretty big actually. If you're like deep into the gameplay updates, as far as throws are now not the
Invince. Yeah,
total waste of time to do. You have invincibility during them, which
makes them useful.
it
Yeah.
was good because the way they were never really a good idea.
I remember when the game came out, there was this one YouTuber that's really big into beat 'em ups, and
Mhm.
he was just like, "I love the Turtles, like old school Turtles, and I want to love this game," but like he broke it down why like throws were just so broken. He's like, it's
Yeah.
pointless. Like you should just remove him from the game. Then, like you are punishing yourself by doing a throw any single time you do it. Like, just don't do it. And I was like,
So they
shit.
they addressed that issue, and the other issue they address, which you will notice if you watch our stream of this game, is just the spamming of the taunts to just get supered before you do anything,
Yep.
which is kind of the strategy of the game, the way it was set up. So the way I think, if I read this correctly, you can only taunt to get the first bar
Yeah.
of super. Then after that, you have to earn it for real by, actually playing the game, which is what was intended. So not so talkative. I think probably now if we do that stream again, but those are pretty good. I think
Yeah.
gameplay tweaks. I don't know what else they did
Helps.
gameplay wise, but I do know they also introduced a bunch of modifiers for the gameplay where you can pick and choose. If your supers hurt you, like old school games. A few other things that
More
I don't.
enemies, tougher enemies, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's really good, like just to expand the options that you have.
Hmm.
Get a little bit more meat out of the game, and
Yeah,
it
make it
doesn't
last
hurt you,
longer. 'Cause,
right?
yeah.
Exactly. It doesn't hurt. Like you can just play it casually, or if you want to get deep into
Mhm.
it, you have those options now.
Yeah.
And speaking
Pretty cool.
of making things harder, apparently some streamer, Elden Ring player, thought it was too easy, so he like
Wild.
modified it to make everything like
Three of or
ex
something like that.
extremely difficult. Yeah, it was like 5 times like the damage
Hmm.
that they would have. Uh and yeah, that's that's ridiculous. 5 times the creatures, 5 times bosses. Took them 85 hours to beat, which is ridiculous. So yeah, but anyway.
Game seems interminable to me at this point, and I'm not
No, I
doing it
mean
like
some
that.
people just are just ridiculous at some things. So, there's that. But
Probably,
the
studied
last
every
thing we
enemy.
have on our news here is that the New Yorker did a profile on Naughty Dog's Neil Druckmann, and he says that his next game is going to be more structured as like a TV show than anything else that Naughty Dog has made. And there's been a writer's room assembled for it. Um, I mean, their games are very cinematic. I would say
Yeah.
more movie-like than
Hmm.
show style. So this
I hate this.
makes me think
I hate
that
this.
I don't know what that means in relation to that because we know his games are cinematic, and I don't think writers' rooms are anything new for him either. But
Mhm.
I don't know what that means. I would need to actually read the whole article to get the context of it because it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. So it's smaller scale, more episodic. Like I don't fully understand
Right.
what that means in the context of the games he makes.
Yeah, no, it's one of those things where like I think he wants to try to change what the games are gonna be like. It's like I want to be,
Does he?
you know, no,
He
I
hasn't
want he's
shown
at.
that in the past.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, what I'm saying is, like, I feel like he wants to, you know, be not proactive, but, um, just forward thinking or whatever, and not necessarily a good thing, but trying to make, push the medium in a new direction, which we've seen though before, which I think Quantum Leap had, or Quantum Leap, what is that show now? Quantum
Quantum
Break?
Break.
Quantum Break. Yeah, I think they did a whole TV-esque show thing.
Well, they had an
So,
actual TV show that you had to watch in
right.
tandem. I don't
Yeah.
think that's what he's talking about here, but
You know, yeah, we'll
I'm
have
not sure
to
what it.
deep dive into this a little bit more,
Oh,
but
the link is there if you want to read it.
eh,
yep. No, I had it
okay.
open, but I was like, this is kind of long.
It's
I'm
very
not gonna go
long
through
and
it
just I
through
don't
it
know.
all.
It's New Yorker,
This
It's a
is
real article.
it just sounds to me like it's just not my style of thing, and
Mhm.
it's unfortunate because I get it. Like this is part of what works for Sony, and I'm happy for those people that get enjoyment out of those games. But like the fact that they're completely abandoning any of their roots with like you know older PlayStation franchise or anything like that. That I think really sucks. Where it's like they just gutted all their Japanese developers. It's like, hey, we're all in on Naughty Dog and Naughty Dog like studios. So it's like, well, cool, thanks. And it's like get to get more games.
I mean, where's Bloodborne 2? Like, yeah.
Well, you would wonder. I mean, in some alternate reality, some other multiverse, um, maybe From Software made Bloodborne 2 and never made Elden Ring, but
Yeah. No, I
who
mean that's the
knows?
thing. I mean, Elden Ring could have been Bloodborne 2
It
for
could have been, and I
PlayStation.
guarantee you, somebody at Sony's being like, "Why the fuck didn't we do a Bloodborne 2?" I
Yeah.
guarantee it. You don't get the
No,
20 million copies and be like, "Why didn't we do that?"
Do
I
we
mean
do we
that's ridiculous. It's crazy.
do we even know what franchise or if this is supposed to be brand new?
The rumor
His
right,
next game
the rumor right now. I think I brought it up on the podcast the other week.
wasn't it supposed to be another Last of
It is
Us?
supposed to be Last of Us Part 3.
Yeah,
Ugh,
that's the rumor.
I'm
Yeah.
so over. Like I would be more interested in not only because I I'm burnt out by everything surrounding Last of Us 2's controversy so much that I kind of don't want to engage with the world anymore at all. um, but just I think the formula of it being sort of so cinematic the way it does, it works better with a more lighthearted thing that comes with Uncharted. But
No, I
again,
mean,
a
like I said,
TV
I
show. I don't.
loved Last of Us 2, so I'm
I know.
excited to
You're
see
the only one
what
who played it of us.
what they do with Last of Us 3, but we're getting the show in a few weeks. So
Yeah,
It's just,
see.
I don't know.
can't say I'm interested in it anymore. I'm just over that world. Don't need it.
It's unfortunate because like you look at all like if you just look at the pedigree of Naughty Dog and it's like yeah okay you had Uncharted in there but like to go from like Last of Us to Last of Us Part or I'm sorry Last of Us to the Last of Us DLC I'll count that because it was I forget the name of it and then Last of Us 2 back to Last of Us 1 and then the show for Last of Us it's just like dude I get it it's a successful franchise but like that's a lot of fucking Last for Us in a decade like a lot.
No, I appreciate like them trying to push it, but at the same time, like you said just seconds ago, where's like Bloodborne 2? Where's more Bloodborne? Like you had a super successful
Oh
franchise there,
no.
but now you're just so focused on this one. It's a lot.
I mean, this
Yeah.
is him and his thing. Like, it's up we don't know what's happening outside of his studio, really. But
Yeah, I mean that's what you know. He's the head honcho over there, so he's gonna make the games he wants to make, which is good. It's just I wish Sony was doing other things because it's just like I don't know. We could probably have a topic cast, but it just like just feels like all these games are similar to me now. It's just like third person.
Not wrong. I mean,
narrative.
that's what's making them successful too. Like I mean,
hey,
Horizon, God of War, Spider-Man, Last of Us, like they have their their niche. That these all games are going to be very similar in what how they play
Yep.
and how they're cinematic and
Their structure, you know,
Yep.
it's like okay, you gotta have some emotional beats. You gotta make people remember they have feelings.
I
You gotta
mean,
have
that's
some.
what you want from most things. I would say.
no, I mean
I
that's
would
like I
push
said, it's not
back
necessarily a
against
bad
that a
thing,
little
but
bit,
like
but I do think
it's
obviously
Sony's yeah.
Uncharted
Yeah.
and Last of Us are similar because they're the same, you know,
Mhm.
thing, pretty much just different tone.
I mean, I want games to make me feel things, but it should be more than just, oh, look, I'm sad because a character died related to the main character. Like
Well,
that
that's
doesn't
how it
interest me.
usually works.
Mhm.
Not really. I mean, games can make you feel lots of different things. It doesn't have to revolve around death.
I know, but I mean, if you're going with sad, that's what happens normally.
Yeah, maybe they could make games that aren't about being sad.
I
I
don't
know
think
it's I.
Spider-Man was just explicitly about being sad.
Well, Last of Us is not necessarily about being
The
happy.
way
Let's
it
just
ended, the way Spider-Man 1 ended.
Yeah, but I wouldn't call that game about being sad. Something sad happens. It's part of a story. You want something to happen.
yeah, I think I mean Miles Morales had a fairly sad ending also. So
I mean, the whole mantra of Spider-Man is he doesn't get to be happy.
yeah, it's pretty unfortunate. We'll see. Maybe Wolverine will be a more.
No,
No,
it
it won't
won't.
be.
No.
Wolverine is going to be
No,
angry.
that was called
He's
sarcasm.
not. He's not gonna.
It'll be
It's
a different
probably not
emotion.
gonna be a parent or
Hmm
child. Well, it could be a child. That's happened before.
So, well,
See.
we'll see what happens here. But I think that'll do it, guys, for the Gamecast. Again, this is the last one of 2022, so we will be going into our best of 2022 next year. Not necessarily next week, but in the next couple
No,
weeks we'll
probably
get that started.
probably 2 or 3 weeks. So
Yeah, and yeah, and Jim should be back, so
I think we'll be doing
look
our
forward to that.
review of how well we did with predictions. I think.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
definitely got to look
that'll be
back
fun.
on our predictions. I probably did not get many. We'll do that. We'll do some more predictions for 2023, and then give you guys some of the best stuff we played and watched in 2022. So look forward to that. Definitely, email us with any questions at allyoucangeek@gmail.com. Check us out on Facebook, YouTube. Hit that like and subscribe buttons, and join us live on Twitch. We're doing it every Tuesday, usually starting at 8 with the movies, and then going into a game cast right after. We usually live for a couple hours, so come on and join the conversation. And we will see you
Next year.
next year.
Ah.